In the silence between your breaths, there's a wisdom deep inside. Ancient echoes softly calling, guiding you back to the light. Through the veils of time and memory, through the stars and sacred flame, there's a truth your soul remembers, and it's calling out your name. Walk with the ancestors beside you. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Breathe with nature, hear the cosmos, where the soul and spirit meet. Awaken now, remember who you are. A spark of the infinite light, a sovereign soul, a sacred heart, born of the stars and the divine. Step into your truth and see the wisdom that lives within. The key is yours to unlock the door and remember your light again. In the temple of your spirit, where the sacred rivers flow, ancient knowledge waits in silence for the heart that seeks to know. Through the path of healing energy, through the breath and through the flame, every step brings deeper knowing of the truth we all became. Anchor deeply to this planet, lift your spirit to the skies. Feel the cosmic consciousness awakening in your eyes. Awaken now, remember who you are. A spark of the infinite light, a sovereign soul, a sacred heart, born of the stars and the divine. Step into your truth and see the wisdom that lives within. The key is yours to unlock the door and remember your light again. Crystals light and Sophia wisdom, sacred union deep inside. Divine balance, heart awakening, where the soul and truth align. We are one in this great mystery, one great living cosmic seed. Every soul a shining mirror of the truth we're meant to be. Awaken now, remember who you are. A child of the infinite flame, a sovereign being of love and light, forevermore the same. In unity we rise together, in consciousness we see the sacred spark within us all, the divine identity. This is Spiritual Insight with Tiffany, White Sage Woman, where ancient wisdom meets awakening, and the truth of who you are is remembered.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Spiritual Insight. I am Tiffany White Sage Woman, and I'm very excited and honored to be sitting in the sacred circle with each and every one of you today. Here we are, March 22nd. My goodness. Time's just going by, and happy spring. Happy spring to everyone. This spring equinox was Friday, but we like to celebrate it, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the whole spring. Up here in the Northeast in Connecticut, we did have, and we knew we would. We've been having mild winters, and this winter was not so mild, and it's okay, and that's fine. We're okay with that. And lots of snow, blizzards, storms, and we got through it all. And here we are now into springtime. So we are streaming live on Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, So welcome everyone, and please be sure to say hello in the comments. This is a very interactive show, and I love the sharing. And then you have any questions, you can put those in the comments as well. So let's see. Let me say hello to those that we have over here on Rumble in the live chat. We have Patty. Greetings, Patty. Hello, Ruth. Laura. Yay. And on YouTube, we have Richard. And then Herb. Herb watching over on LinkedIn. Hello, greetings to each and every one of you. So grateful, like I said, for you to be joining me in this sacred circle today. And so if there's any things that you would like to talk about, if there's any questions, please put them in the comments and let's talk about it. Let's, have some conversation. And it's always a great thing to do. And I just had realized at the beginning of the show with my show intro that I was being so concentrated on everyone else's show intro that I haven't put the pictures on mine yet. So, but that's okay. Enjoy the lyrics one for right now until I get it. There's certain versions, and the polished one for the live streams is the one that's more personalized with pictures. But I will have that up and running for my next show. So, yeah, which will be next week will be the last Sunday in March. And so we're just marching right on through 2026. And so I just hope that everyone is being gentle with yourself, taking some deep breaths, and just gently flowing, going with the flow, going with the flow. And going with the benevolent flow, because you can go with the adverse flow too. So let's clarify the flow I'm talking about. When I say go with the flow, is talking about being in the balanced, harmonious flow. All right. Of life, of being in harmony with God, source, creator. And that is where our soul or oversoul is. Our oversoul or soul's closest to source. And so we have our higher self, we have us, our higher selves, and our oversouls. So me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I. Absolutely correct. When we used to say growing up, well, who said you could do that? Me, myself, and I. We weren't lying. We were telling the truth. We weren't being sarcastic either. But yet we got in trouble for being creative, actually, right? Hello, Wendy. So glad that you could join us. And it is a cloudy, rainy, cool day here in Connecticut. And so, but that's all right. We'll take the rain over the alternative. So just, yeah, moving right along. Yeah. So just also too, just putting out lots of love and light, peace, harmony, well-being to all those in need. This is a powerful circle that we have here. Many, 90% of you are healers. And so, if not more. So just let's take a moment and just we're going to send light out from our sacred heart center, our command center. And we're just going to we're being that lighthouse for God, source, creator. We're letting source light come through us and shining out like that lighthouse in all directions. And just let it shine out in all directions. Just visualize that all around the world, all along this planet. And for those of you who really want to push that, expand it out to other planets, to this solar system. You want to expand even more, push it out beyond this solar system. And take some deep breaths. And come back to where you are right here, right now. All right? Well, greetings, Robin. Nice to see you. Richard? Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. I'm glad that has happened for you as well. And so, yes, but that's only a drop in the pot of who we really are abundance wise. So you know this, but I think that's wonderful when it comes in stages like that. All right, so Ruth does have a question. Actually, let me back up a moment. Wendy, I'm still sick, hopefully on the mend. Yes, we are sending you. See, Wendy, I felt that. I felt you and your presence in this circle. And so we are sending some love, light, and healing out to you as well, and to everyone in need. And yeah, yes. Ruth, I have a health related question. What is the healthiest cutting board to use? I have heard stainless steel or titanium, but I have no idea. Okay, that's a great question, Ruth. And so we've always been on the lookout for the healthier versions of cutting boards. The best in cutting boards, I heard a long time ago, was always wood. But then they come to, wait a minute, it can get mold, it can get moldy, it can hold, that mold and hold um, that kind of bacteria in it. And then they say, go to this and go to that. Well, my problem with anything metal, even stainless steel, is that you're now taking a knife and you're cutting, and there's going to be some kind of metal fragments. I don't care what anyone says. I don't want metal in my food. All right. Now, my husband and I are on a plant-based diet, and we have been for, well, over 5 years now. And so we don't eat meat. But when we did, we had a wooden cutting board specifically only for meat, and then another cutting board for fruits and vegetables. All right. And they were always, now they have bamboo. Our newest one, I think, is bamboo, is a bamboo cutting board, a big one. And so you wash them and you air dry them. Any type of wood, even your wooden utensils that you have, your cooking utensils, they need to be kept in a utensil holder. You can use a vase, you can use anything, but to a utensil holder on top of your counter. Don't put them in a drawer where they will not have air to circulate and to dry properly. You're going to have the same issue like with the wood cutting boards with your wooden utensils. So we do have a utensil holder. You can get them very nice, you know, um, any style, any design you want, uh, and you wash them, and then you dry them, and then you put them into the utensil holder, and you keep them on the counter, and they'll dry. Now, the same thing with the cutting boards, the wooden cutting boards, is, you just want to be very careful too. But if you're just washing it, soap, water, getting it in there, and for like, even like for meat now, yeah, you can vinegar and baking soda, but not every time you clean it, because then you're gonna just destroy that wood. So for a cutting board just for meat, I would clean it every couple of weeks. Just spritz it lightly with some vinegar and some baking soda, and lightly rub it down. Don't scrub so hard that you're going to take a layer of the wood off, because it does have a edible, not edible, but it has usually has a safe finish on it. So as soon as you take that finish off, now you're going to speed up the risk of that wood getting contaminated with mold if it's not dried properly. So just, be very careful. But again, the same thing, I don't want to use plastic. I don't want plastic shards. A lot of us have the problem with plastic particles everywhere. It's in the air, it's in the water now. We're so polluted with these plastic particles. So wood is always the best option. A wood butcher block, if you can find a thin, that's real popular. Remember the butcher block counters, the butcher block? Stick with that. That's always the best thing. And then you let them air out. Put them However, but you got to leave them out too. Don't put them up. Don't put them in a cabinet. You got to make sure that they're aired out as well. Like, see where our stove is, there's a wall right beside the stove. So we air our cutting boards out against the wall. It's on the stove, but leaning against the wall, and you just let them air out. You can hang them up to however, whatever design style of cutting board that you have. But it's always to me the best. And as a matter of fact, I actually eat. I have wooden utensils I eat with because I cannot and never have been able to stand just the regular stainless steel type of utensils in my mouth. I don't, and especially if you had uh fillings, or and I think I noticed this when I had braces as a teenager. You ever have that metal hit a braces or a filling? That hurts, or it's not a very pleasant feeling. So I had learned then, my dad got me, like, before we found wooden utensils, he got chopsticks. And so I did really good. I could eat with chopsticks because I was happy. I have wooden chopsticks. I don't care. They're wood. And that's what I ate with the whole time I had braces, on my mouth, on my teeth. And so, and then I was like, I'm going to return to that. Now they do. They have eating utensils, wooden eating utensils. And since we're only plant based, I don't have to have, I mean, we have sharp knives, but the knives in those sets are great for what I'm using to cut them up for. So I have the spoon, fork, knife sets, and I use those. And again, I keep them on the counter too in my little utensil holder of, I'm the only one that likes them. My husband still likes his stainless, what he grew up with, his stainless steel utensils, but they're there for anybody that wants to use them and wants that alternative to that. And so I find that the food tastes better when you're eating from wooden utensils. Think about this now with the Asians and their wooden chopsticks. Yeah, because we're not realizing, and you can do a taste test, when you're eating from stainless steel, now an exception is like silver, sterling silver, or even copper utensils, but I heard that when you heat these up or when these get hot, it takes on a different characteristics chemically. So for me, I'll drink water out of a copper. Yes, now that's good. And it's room temperature water too. Okay. You can do cold or room temperature in a copper, not hot. You can't do a hot tea or coffee in copper. All right. But so I hope that answered. I think I got way off. Let me see. Did I answer your question? Let's see who else do we have checking the comments over on Rumble. We have Samir. Welcome, Samir. Nice to see you. Wendy, I use wood cutting boards. To clean, you cover it with salt and then use lemon juice, and that kills the bacteria. There you go. That's good too. Yeah. Stainless steel dulls your knives. It absolutely does. Yes, it does. And then, like I said, you just got these. I don't want metal shards or fragments. I just don't even want to take a chance of it. Microscopic that we can't see with our eyes, because that happens. And definitely, you have any plastic cutting boards, I hope you get rid of those. Get those out of the house. Don't even use them. You know, and yeah, and they make really nice wood ones. And yeah, Richard, vinegar and baking soda helps. Yep. Now that's also too, you use all around the house. That's what we use to clean bathrooms. Vinegar and baking soda. A little bit of hold on, not baking soda, vinegar. It'll come to me in a minute. But you could also put it's baking soda and vinegar we use for cleaning. What else do every once in a while we'll put on the faucets if they look really bad. You can use a salt too. You can use salts, and believe it or not, it will make your like your faucets and the knobs and everything really stand out and look nice. So yeah, yes, there you go. Oh, we have someone else. Who is that? Trying to say this name over on Rumble. Welcome. Uh, Simp. Okay, you'll have to give me your first name. Simp. So, oh yeah, you apple cider vinegar too. So, yeah. All right. So I hope that answers your question, and just it's really good things to explore and option wise. And let's think back to what our grandparents, our great grandparents used, because I really feel like if we remember our grandparents, if they copied their parents, the great grandparents, they carried forward all the old ways. Some grandparents gave into, I don't want to say new alternative brainwashing ways, and that carried on to our parents, maybe. I mean, but I'm not saying that's what's happening to your families. Everyone's different, but I remember my grandparents, one set of my grandparents did carry on the ways from great grandparents or from their parents. So my great grandparents, and I find that I do that. My mom did not, um, but I do. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not. We don't clean with any chemicals or anything like that. We just want to be very mindful of not harming ourselves and also harming the environment. I know that that's really living in harmony with nature and with this planet. We need to be mindful about everything. Where's this trash going? I'm going to make sure I'm throwing the trash away. Is this recyclable? I'm going to recycle, and I know there's been heard so many things about recycling, even being a scam, because it's they can only recycle certain codes, and there's so many codes, and it's I know it can get so, like, you feel like you're going down this rabbit hole of information of like, oh my gosh, my head's spinning now, because you think it's just something that would be simple, and there's usually more to it, as there always is, right? There usually is. But unless it's closest to nature, is as simple as possible, and living in harmony. So is this going to harm the planet? Is this going to harm an animal? Is this going to harm anyone else? We must protect all beings and be responsible for our actions. Take responsibility for our actions, and not that it's going to be somebody else's problem or somebody else will clean this up or take care of this. No, that's the wrong way to approach that. So, but that's it. If you have to put on gloves to clean, that's how bad it is. That's absolutely correct. Yeah, yeah. And I put gloves on only to protect because vinegar can be very, you find all your cuts you have on your hand. And so when I clean, depending on what it is, by using vinegar and baking soda, and I will make sure that I have gloves on only to protect any cuts on my hands. That's it. Because I do a lot with my hands. So that's the only time I would wear them. Yeah, it's the same thing. You eat something, lemon juice, lemon on the cut. Oh my gosh. Ow. So that would be the only time I wear them. But if I didn't have any cuts on my hands, then I didn't bother with gloves. So, but yeah, that is so, so true. So very good question, Ruth. Thank you so much. Anybody else has any other question, health related? And speaking of that, a lot of you here, I know, do join in on the patch party Sunday nights. I will be sending an email out. We are doing it a little different way tonight, so I will explain all that in the email. And so that is going to, if you didn't get the email yet, don't worry. I just hadn't sent it out because we're shifting things up a little bit, and I will explain all that in the email to you. And I was doing some testing today, and what I wanted to do, again, I'll get into detail with those for the patch party, but and we talk all sorts of things, even holistic wise. health and wellness, share some ideas, share some things. So it's a really, we get more into it. This is just surface stuff here, but we really can get into have some really great conversations. So uh, pretty much everyone here who does attend, I'll send the email out. Try not to sneeze. I feel a sneeze coming on. No, don't sneeze. All right. Anyway, whew, like there was something else. Isn't it interesting? It's like right before showtime. It's like I have all these things I want to talk about, and if I make to writing them down on a list, then I write them down. Yay! And if I don't, then it's like gone until I remember later. So, yeah, I know you'll be at your mom's tonight, Richard. I got your message, but I may do something different. We'll have to see what everyone votes on about recording the end, just our conversation part of it. So it'll be in the, we'll talk about that. So, and also to just any updates, I'll share with you next time. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad that you're going to go to your mom's and help your mom. So that's great. And all right. Some deep breaths, and I know a lot of us aren't watching news anymore, the mainstream media. We know we've been lied to, and we can be listening to alternative news or alternative, wherever we're getting information from. And so we still have to be mindful, even if it's alternative and even if it's, we vibe with it. We just always put things through that internal filter. Here, this is where truth is. And this is the truth that's aligned with source. Truth here, and we know we have different, it's my own personal, I think this is true. Listen to your own verbiage. Well, that's coming from your mind. This is, what lays in here pretty much, or this mind is absorbing everything from everywhere, from people's opinions, fake truth, real truth, whatever. We're hearing it all, and it just rests right here. So, and this can be a fake truth. Your real truth is in your sacred heart center. You've got to just stop and drop. True. This is that leap of faith everyone talks about, right? It truly is. And when you are in that sacred space, you know it. There's no faking that. You just know that, right? Discernment, absolutely. And so, wait a minute. I think I missed something from Robin. As I'm talking, well, I just took out a cutting board. Well, Robin, tell us, what type of cutting board do you have? That's great. Oh, that's great. Are you making dinner? What are you making, Robin? Inquiring minds want to know. So it's when I would watch Carol Ann's show, and she would used to bring up food all the time of, loved ones coming forward, and they have this food or helping to identify them, and they're bringing forward this dish or food, and I'd always, oh, Carol Ann, you're making me hungry now. So I know. All right, Richard, have a great night. I know you're protected. Be safe going to your mom's, and pet Luna. Give Luna some belly rubs. So yeah, thanks for joining in, Richard. Big bear hugs to you. I am grateful for you. You know that. So all right, grateful for you all. Really am. So no, we're hearing so many things from people, and just want you to be careful not to follow a guru type of person. I mean, and it's, for me, I just want you to take what resonates with you and then just leave the rest. This is here for us to have a conversation. This is for us to help each other remember, to awaken what we already know, to tap into source code that's within us, and just be very loving and supporting of each other. And no one's better than anyone else. So, oh, Robin says a granite cutting board. Lonnie Mae is making strawberry shortcake. Oh, that sounds so delicious. See, now y'all making me hungry. That's great. I'm so glad that Lonnie Mae is in the kitchen with you. So it's those are great moments, great bondings to have. Yeah, that's awesome. So just have some discernment. And we had a great spiritual message circle last night. If you missed the spiritual message circle, we had a great one. If you want to go back and check that out after this show, not during, don't stop. After the show, go check out the spiritual message circle. And we had some great conversation and some sharing, and there was a part I think I do where we all were saying just pretty much going within you. And I had just wants to kind of expand a little bit on what I said about you have to be very careful with hypnosis and QHHT. So that, why are we going to someone else to find out who we are? Hypnosis, I've never trusted. I'm going to be honest with it. I've never trusted that. I've always think it's a magic trick. It's a magic. I've always been fascinated by it and wanted to know more. But I'll tell you, my team, and when I say my team, my higher self is always the main on my team, my guidance team, my guidance healing protection team, my higher self, and then there's other guides, there's ancestors, there's family, there's loved ones, there's animal beings, there's all sorts of different beings sitting at your guidance table, your team, and including our galactic sisters and brothers. Absolutely. ETs, for those who didn't, needs to hear that. Um, absolutely. And they have to all be benevolent to have been chosen by my higher self to allow them to sit there. All right. And so it's but my higher self, my team has always, anytime I'm like, oh, maybe I should know more about this hypnotherapy and take a course. No, you're gonna waste your time and your money. No. And it's like, oh, okay. And they're like, just curiosity. And they're like, no. The only one they did let me take was QHHT. And I do have, it's in 3 levels. I have level 1. I did take it. It's an investment. I invested in it, and I'm so glad I did. Absolutely glad I did, because I was kind of like, oh, I didn't go see Dolores Cannon live when she was still in her physical body. So these are recordings that her daughter has done. So grateful for that, recording all of her live sessions, recording even the teachings and trainings, and I realized in that first one that it was not for me. But what I also noticed too was that Dolores Cannon was a very powerful medium. And I know those people, take what you, just however you want to feel about that, that's okay. With sitting with her energy and just feeling, even through the recording, I was like, she's a medium. She knows who's showing up. So when they put you under, it's supposed to be your higher self and your team coming forward. She can see if an imposter was there. She could intuit it. She was very intuitive. She was a medium. She would know if the person was really under, or if there was someone pretending to be that person's higher self. My thing, you can't teach that. You either have it or you don't. And I feel there's a lot of practitioners out there now that do not have that level of discernment, that does not have that intuition. And how do they know they're actually tapping into where they need to be tapping into? I'm just saying that. I'm putting it out there. And isn't that still a middleman, a middle person? Why are we going outside of ourselves to find out about ourselves? You want to know who you were, who you are. Who you were is irrelevant. Quite honestly, who you were in the past, even who we are in this life in the past, you know, is irrelevant for now, for right here, right now, because we should have cleared and got rid of things. And if not, we're still purging and releasing it. But we're not there at that time. We're here. And the now is the most powerful place to be in. And so we stay in that now and we know who we are. I still don't have all the answers for myself, but I'm also very patient in knowing that because it has happened, that what I need to know is revealed to me as I need to know it. And I know that we all are getting our memory back, that amnesia that we were born with is wearing off. It is wearing off. And for those of us who choose to work with that, memory coming in, not let it be fearful for us, and yeah, and just work with it. So let me see what Wendy has here. A comment. See, I took a course on hypnosis, and it was so long and drawn out, I couldn't stay awake to finish it. Well, that's what does that tell you? This is so boring, and there's so many steps, and there's yeah, it's too complicated. Who we truly are is simple. It's simple and powerful. Doesn't have to be all there is structure, but that structure is so much more simpler. It's really hard to even put into words because it's just a state of being, and where everything is so much simpler, and it just is. It just is. And I heard some people call that isness too. The isness. It just is. It just is. And have we ever experienced something that's really hard to articulate, to put into words, and we feel like there aren't any words that's high frequency enough to explain what we have experienced or what we know? Or, maybe people, okay, is going to think that I'm really crazy. Well, I'm used to that. That that's been my whole life. I don't really care what people think. And you can't just like, whatever, take it or leave it. That's all, take it or leave it. But know that I try to be very mindful of what I say during my live show and what I'm sharing with you all, and that it is hopefully very loving and supportive. And that's what it is just we should be supportive of each other. I see you. I see you in a world where a lot of people aren't seen anymore, and they're also distracted by what? By this. They're distracted. They're not paying attention to the environment anymore. They're not paying attention to their surroundings. They're not paying attention to each other. And it's spring. Get outside. Take a walk without your phone in front of your face. I'm not saying leave it at home, but leave it put away. So, I don't even want to say don't put it in your pocket, because that's right against your body. Anybody wear the fanny pack? Is that still a thing? Is that still stylish? Just put it in a backpack, put it in something till you have it, but don't let it distract you. Go outside, take a walk, notice, say hello to your neighbors. Get out and meet some neighbors. Just even those in the neighborhood who are walking, and just, how does the air smell? What do you smell? How do you feel? Count, with each step. Kind of do like a slow down. I call it a step-by-step meditation. I just start counting 1, 2, and the faster you count, the faster your steps are. So it kind of maybe even makes you slow down your counting, slow down your steps, slow down your deep breathing. And if you want to increase it, you can do that too, but have a slow down. Just we really need to get back to that socialization. All right. and not so much on the phone, especially if we're going outside and we're supposed to be outside taking a walk or those on a hike, you know, um, doing things like that. Back to nature. Get outside. Go outside and be with nature. And Robin, I know you've talked about this too. And it's going outside doesn't mean you're grounded. Going outside doesn't mean you're connecting with nature. But when you're paying attention to everything around you, that's the connection. I'm paying attention to, hey, this bird song. There's another bird song. I'm paying attention to the birds. I'm maybe paying attention to the squirrels. I'm paying attention to the wildlife around me. I'm paying attention to everything. And then you really get to experience nature in these layers, in these beautiful, beautiful layers. What does it see? What does it sound like? What does that feel like? What does it smell like? And this is how we have that relationship with nature and with getting outside. And that's truly grounding. And you don't even have to go hug a tree. You can just sit across from the tree. You can visualize your favorite tree and having that conversation, just that heart to heart connection. And there it is. Oh, hello, Sugar Kim. Yay. Let's see. I just talked my friend into buying a teardrop camper and we practice camping in the driveway. That's great. Yeah, fanny packs are back, baby. Oh, awesome. Right? They're very convenient. Let's do a group camping trip, bird watching, campfires, etc. Yes, yes. You know, exactly. I'll be the first person like to admit, camping. I like glamping. Is it a big RV? Is it, you know? But actually, we went camping. My family and I, growing up, we went camping quite a bit, and I have to say they actually are fond memories. Uh, the only thing for me that I didn't like to were insects. Some of the bugs. There's good insects. There's good bugs. There's other bugs that you're questioning. Why? Why? Why did God make these? Now, and that was as a child. And then you realize, okay, it's all part of. And yes, there are some some insects that probably were brought in, but it's just whatever. I won't invade your turf. You don't invade my space. We're just living in harmony, but away from each other. So, oh yeah, I'm a glamper for real. Oh, good, Kim. Yes, yeah, yeah. So it's I have pitched a tent before, slept in a sleeping bag, and I've experienced all that. Hey, that's pretty cool, you know, and I have to tell you, one of my times camping, teenager with friends, away from the family with friends, right? So now we're in the 80s. Remember the hair days of the 80s, right? So it was somebody I had dated a long time ago, right? So we were camping and I brought a hair dryer. And he was laughing at me. Where are you going to plug a hair dryer in? We're camping. And I was like, the bathrooms over there in the bathrooms, they have a plug. But they were joking. I'm like, it's the 80s. It's the hair era. I can't walk around with my hair looking like this. I'm going to go style my hair. And so I'll wash my hair in the sink and style it. They laughed, but the women, yeah, they followed me into that bath. They were like, "Yeah, can I use your hair dryer when you're done?" Yeah, absolutely. We were out in nature. We were having fun. We were at the lake. We were on boats, and some people were water skiing. But when all that was said and done, I'm going to wash myself. I least wash my hair and blow dry it. The girl brought her Aquanet, okay, yeah. And I'm like, I'm surprised we didn't sit around the campfire and all go up in smoke and flame. Our hair, just, But anyway, that was camping in the 80s. But anyway, Now I wouldn't be so bothered by it. It'd be like, whatever, whatever. Go bathe in the lake, come back out, and let my hair just dry naturally. It's fine. But those were the days. Let's see. Robin, I have been camping since I was little. I love it. Yeah, yeah. It really did kind of like, it was like a slow down, a simple type of, again, it's a slow down, little things easier, you know, kind of, sort of, uh, but yeah, and you kind of realize then that it's distractions. Did you have wine coolers with the Aquanet? There were women who did. I never drank wine coolers. That wasn't my thing, but a lot of my friends did drink wine coolers. Yes, they had the wine coolers. I was always the beer person. I was like, no, just give me a beer. You know, um, just give me a beer. I don't want wine coolers. They would upset my stomach. I was like, I did try, but I was like, no. But yes, that was a thing. Anyway, but yeah, but it's so fun too. Some of my most fondest memories too, going hiking, even with now my sons, and my dad would take, when my sons were smaller, he would always take them hiking, and he made them, they carved them walking sticks, and they all had a great time. And my dad would stay on the trail, don't go off the trail, and it would teach them, and it was just what to look for in nature. And so it was it ends up being some of your fondest memories when you're thinking back on your childhood, isn't it? Your little childhood, your teenage childhood. I think we're so grown then. We're so grown. But it's like, wow, you know, my current self looking at my teenage self going, no, honey, you're not grown. You don't even know half of what you think you know. But anyway, it's good to have these kind of fun um, memories and moments, and yeah, and so that's good too, even for now, the comedy, the laughing. This helps get us through the chaos, and yeah, and more of that, please. So yeah, good times for sure. um Anyway, so does anybody else have anything they want to share, or did they a question? You could do that. You could ask a question. And so, oh, a bad hair day, but it's like, whatever. I'm here. I'm here. Oh, and my husband and I have been slowly. Well, actually, it just seems like really fast. Last 3 weeks, finally getting to doing some renovations upstairs that we wanted to, is ripping up carpet. We've been in this house for over 20 years. I despise carpet. I do. I am not a wall-to-wall carpet gal whatsoever at all. And I love the wood floors downstairs. Why they didn't do that upstairs, I don't know. But because it was new carpet when we moved in, and my husband was like, I like the carpet. I'm like, all right. But after it's been some time here now with pets, and then my sons, and they're moved out, and and one's back, and so it's just kind of like, I think it's time that we finally just get it all ripped up. And so when it starts, to me, I could smell it. Again, the carpets hold so much stuff in them, and I was like, you could only clean so much, and I'm like, yeah, we're getting rid of all of it. So we've been pulling up carpet, redoing room by room by room, and so the 3 rooms, and so it's just like, okay, good. So we were working on that this morning, pulling up carpet out of the last room. Now there's no carpet upstairs. Yay! We just got to finish the floor in there, and paint that one. And oh my goodness! And so I know it helps you be more quiet. You hear everything on wood upstairs. Probably no insulation in the floors. I know. No one's sneaking up on me. I'm one of those weirdos that likes a creaky floor. I know some people don't, and those in construction are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna nail it down or do something, whatever, to make sure there's no squeaks." But it's kind of like we live in an old home. Our home is 1909, so I like the old squeaky. I was like, "Ooh, sound so cool." Maybe just growing up watching these old homes or these beautiful old homes and mysteries and the kind of thing, and it's just wow. I still like the older homes like that. So uh, let's see, what did Wendy say? I use my pendulum or my copper dowsing rods and ask my higher self for insight. Yes, that's good to when you're going inside, and yeah, you get validation. Absolutely. It's great when we can see it too. I think it's validation for really it's validation for our mind. Do you know that? We could say eyes, but it helps get our mind into the proper co-pilot seat that it's supposed to be in. It's our minds are never meant to take the lead and to be in charge. All right, they're computing. Our minds are very powerful. They're powerful antennas, but our and they've actually science has proved that our hearts, our actual physical hearts, have a brain to it. Have a brain. So now the heart, our physical heart, and then the heart chakra, the heart energy center, absolutely right there. This is our command center. All right. This command is the commander of us. Command. We are the commander right here. This is co-pilot. The exo, not uh, the assistant commander, the co-commander, however you will call it. But it's not even a command. All right, because this is control. This is about control, and this is about command in a benevolent, harmonious way with God's source creator. So this always take the lead. Always take the lead. And that's co-pilot. All right. And so yeah. So when we do that, when we use these spiritual tools, I'm glad you brought this up, Wendy. When we use these spiritual tools, it's really to show our mind, see, that's what it's to give it visual. Mm-hmm. Is what it's for. Okay. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Many condos won't allow it, but yes, your ghost will make more noise for you. Yeah. Many condos won't allow what? I guess it depends where you are because uh, dear friend just got a condo and there's no carpet in her condo. She's also on the ground floor. Yeah, she's on the ground floor. But yeah. Well, she owns it, so it's like you can have pretty much what you want in your condo. But yeah, I think it just depends too, right? I have condos that homeowners association, the HOA. It's yeah, they have all these different things. But no, I definitely am not a fan of of wall to wall carpet. I like area rugs. I like that look. You can layer, not really layer area rugs. I've seen people do that, but I like area rugs and just those are pretty works of art themselves too. You get the colors right, can make it colorful, and so yeah, yeah. Oh, right, your higher self for insight. Yeah. Yeah. So you know what though, Wendy, as you trust more and more and more, then using those types of tools fade away. I can't even tell you when the last time I picked a pendulum up or my copper rods for assistance. I still have the copper rods when to take them outside. Show me where the water is. That's how I helped have conversation with moving a water stream or a water flow over, working with nature, working with but we had After we had moved in, I think it was like several months later, the basement would flood, and that's when you find out, oh, the sump pump doesn't work. They came with the house, didn't work, so we had to replace the sump pump. But then I was like, there was a lot of water, and then just sitting in, where's the water running under the house on this property? How's it draining? Show me the drainage. And just you sit out there, show me the drainage, and they would show me the flow. Okay. So wow, this drainage is right under the house. Can we move this over? Can we move the drainage over? What can we do? Can you have the water flow a couple of feet, miss the house over here in this spot? And what will that look like to do that? And so it was like, sure, do that, and we'll give you a sign. And so after that had happened, I did. You could see like there was in their grass at the time, there was like a greener grass patch that looked like a path. To me, I know they were showing me that's where they had just moved the water over or let the flow there. They fixed it however they did. The elementals and nature did that. And so then later on, they're just like, plant some things there. If you plant some things there, it'll give something for the water to do and make the water keep flowing there. So right where they had showed me, I planted a lot of things. One of my pots, this is years ago now, and thanks to the squirrels and the birds, they planted some little tree thing. I didn't know what it was. They planted something in this pot that was with flowers. I was like, what is this? And I heard, just let it grow, let it grow. And I realized like it's a little tree. And then it got into be a bigger tree that needed to be planted. Now they're planted in the ground. And they showed me where to plant it right in line. It's a willow. It's not a willow. It's a birch tree. It's a type of a birch tree. Water. So right there, and they're like, now we're giving that water some more. Um, the tree and the roots are working with that water, and the water will go to work with the roots and take care of everything that I planted right there, and encourage the water to keep going there. Because it's, isn't it true that we all need something to do? We all feel like we need to feel like we're contributing in one way, shape, or form. Even our pets need a job. Your dogs need a job. What's your job? Your job is to snuggle with me and just to, I love you. Your job, you'll know, your job is to protect because you're already showing me what you're doing. All right. Your job is to protect. Your job, it's just all beings want something to do. And that includes with the elements. Elements definitely are here to work in harmony with us, elements, elementals, nature beings, and we all work together in harmony. And you can do this. You can do this. Absolutely, you can. And it's just developing that relationship with them and trusting. Trust. And then the more and more we trust, and the more it just becomes part of our life. And we stop and think about it and go, wow, I haven't used certain tools in a while because I don't need that anymore because I have it instantaneously. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to use spiritual tools, but you'll find out that you may not need them as much as you used to. And, and they're fun, and they make them so pretty too. Like, the pendulums, the crystals, the pendulums, and anything can be a pendulum though too. You can a necklace with whatever pendant is on it, so metal, precious metals, a great pendulum, so anyway, yeah, so this has been fun. I really enjoy our time together, and it goes by so fast. So thank you. I hope that yeah, I love old houses. Yeah, I do too. I really do. And because they feel so warm and comforting, it feels like a warm hug. I don't like modern decor. I don't like it. Be very careful. You watched, and I used to like watching home shows, DIY, and do all that, right? But Everything's white and gray, white and gray, white and gray. Have you realized what they're doing is they're taking color out of our lives? White and gray. Well, where's the color? I can't get comfortable in a house like that. There's no warmth to it. There's no personality. It looks like, and I'm going to tell you, with my husband being retired military, it feels like I'm looking at a submarine or a ship. I'm not on a battleship. I want to be comfortable. And, so I don't want those colors in my home. I want warm, inviting colors that looks like I'm being hugged and feels like I'm being hugged. So be very careful. Look at they're even doing it with the cars, right? It's like they're trying to take color out. Gray. You can get in gray, dark gray. Oh, look, gray. There's more gray colors on cars now than ever before. And you go back in our history and think about this and look at the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and now, and it's like, where's all these bright colors gone? Bring them back into your home. Bring them back into your life. All right. And don't buy a gray car. They're so drab and boring. Just saying, watch, pay attention to what's being done, what's being presented for us to buy. And we ultimately have the final say by what we do buy and what we don't, right? With that purchasing power. So anyway, all right. Yay. Oh, thank you, Robin. Oh yeah, I'm not saying tools are bad. Like, yeah, have fun with them. Sugar Kim, I love the bright 50s colors here in Palm Springs. I now like orange, right? I love orange. Orange is, yes, absolutely. Orange and blue together is really a cool combination. Orange and teal, orange. Just play with it. It's fun. I love orange too. Thanks for a great show. And all you do. Well, I'm grateful for you too, Sugar Kim, and for everything that you do. And Laura, I'm not a fan of gray and beige. It lacks energy. It does. It really, really does. So don't fall for that, and they show these homes and it's like, ugh, the friend who just got a condo, everything is like, gray. And she's like, I'm changing all this. I was like, I know you are. Because that's just how they present it now. And so she's like, yeah, no, I'm putting color in here. I'm like, awesome, but yeah. So, put some color. Then maybe that's finished with that. Put some color in your life. Spring, the burst back of color, right? All the color coming back to us, all the beautiful flowers and aromas, and just have that color back in your life. And, everyone just waking up from long winter. Well, those in the cold winter, those where it's like summer all the time. Maybe a little fall. But anyway, just keep shining brightly. Peace be with your heart. Peace be with your mind. Peace be with your body. And keep shining brightly. Source be with you. I'm going to say force because we're done with force. We're done with force. No more force in our lives, just source. All right? Anything besides God's source is a resource. Let's go right to source. Source be with each and every one of you. I love you. See you next week.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show.